Hello, friends. All tangled up. But good morning. Happy March. Can't believe it's already March. I feel like January lasted forever and February lasted a minute. As I untangle myself. When you pop on, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Say hello. I'm going to go ahead and post the shopping link right here in the comments. So everything you're about to see is going to be available right there at rayahopebeauty.com. And then we'll get started here in a minute. Yay! Hi, Tiffany. Awesome. It's the best feeling. You're like, yes, got you live. But when you do pop on, do me a solid and click the share button in your bottom left-hand corner. And then also in the top right-hand corner, you can actually click those three little dots and turn on live notifications. That way you don't miss out on any lives or anything. So we'll go ahead and wait a few minutes and then we'll get started. Pin up my hair. I'm actually going to be doing a hair tutorial with Lange today at 11 Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to be doing a really fun giveaway while I'm live too. So make sure that you don't miss out on that. I'll be here at 11, pretty much after my makeup's done. Good morning. Hi, guys. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. So like I posted in the description, new month, new deals. So I'm super excited, because this month they are doing some killer deals. So far what's launched is the Kudos, the new Kudos. So if you're new, the Kudos is like our monthly deal. Every month it's something different. This month it's really great because it kind of goes hand in hand with last month's. This month you can get any Addiction eyeshadow palette and any any eyeliner and any mascara for, I believe it's $74, I believe. I should have double checked the price, but such a good deal, you guys. All right, so I'm just going to throw on my foundation really quickly. I'm going to be using the Liquid Touch foundation in the shade Lace, and I'm just going to slowly start building this up and on. And I love applying it with my powder concealer brush. This is my favorite way to get it on. Applies it very flawlessly, very evenly, very quickly. Hello, good afternoon. Hi from Canada. Awesome. Maine. Wow, 2 people from Maine. That's cool. And then I can't what splash blush and lipstick colors come in. I'm not entirely sure what colors come in the presenter's kit. And I know they do change it kind of frequently, so I'm not 1000% sure. But I believe it says it on the website. But if you are wanting to join, the presenter's kit is a really good deal. But it's for people that are wanting to join, to sell, to make it like a business. If you are not wanting to do that, but you want just like a really good deal, the collections and sets would be like the way to go. And that's going to be on my website, rayahopebeauty.com. And then you're going to click collections and sets. And then it's under there, and that's honestly like the biggest bang for your buck. Organ, awesome. Hi, Jessica. The eyeliner, my favorite eyeliner is the shade Perfect, which is just like the black, but there is the color Prim, which a lot of people actually use as a lip liner too. What would you suggest? I have dark eyelids, not really under the eye, but what do you think? So Laura, I'm actually going to be using the eye primer today, and the eye primer is a really good product for not only oily eyelids, but if you have dark eyelids, it can actually act as more coverage, and it is an eye primer, so it is really good at like holding everything in a place. So I was going to actually show you guys another way to use that here in a second. Yes, the Liquid Touch foundation or the spray foundation, it's kind of a tie between the two. Those are my favorites just because they're super fast, they're really easy, and they're really full coverage. So I think those are probably my favorite. All right, so I'm almost done applying my Liquid Touch. I'm just going to put a little bit on my skin, and then now I'm going to go in with my blending bud and really just kind of define the coverage. And I tell you guys this all the time, the blending bud is incredible for getting your makeup to be like super duper smooth. And if you haven't tried this foundation, first of all, this coverage is insane. It's so good. Those are just white foundation all over. It's so good. So flawless. I love, 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 love how it applies. And it's so lightweight. It doesn't feel super heavy on my skin. So would you like to do this business? How do I get started? So if you're wanting to join to be a presenter like I am, just send me a message and I can send you the link to join my team and then the training and all of the other good stuff. So make sure that you just send me a message. Hello guys, awesome. See a lot of new faces. If you are new, go ahead and hashtag newbie in the comments so I can welcome you. And then like always, I always say this, I feel like a broken record, but send me a message if you need any help picking out product or if you have any makeup or skincare questions. I always love to help you guys one-on-one. And sending me a message is the best way to get that started. Yes, the liquid's so good. Yes, absolutely, Janice. It's amazing for mature skin. Which brush are you using with your foundation before the blending bud? So this is called the Powder Concealer Brush. It's by Unique also. It's going to be under Face Tools. So I always use it on this side, and then the shorter side you can either contour with or eyeshadow, or you can even use this to apply your foundation. It's all just personal preference. And then, like I said, I feel like I have a hair. And then I always go in with my blending buds afterwards. Okay, so here's a little fun trick. So the concealer. This is the eye primer, and this you can actually upgrade your kudos to include this. So you can actually use this a few different ways. So this is the eye primer, so technically it goes on your eyes, but what you can actually do is you can use some of this and just like squeeze a little bit out. It's only one color and it's a little bit thinner consistency. You can actually use this on your under eye to help to prevent under eye creasing. So what you're going to do is just like that, go in with just a little bit, and then you're going to go in with your concealer, always blend together, and then just tap this on right over it. And so like I said, the eye primer is a different consistency, so it's a little bit thinner. So you can't really feel it. It doesn't really affect your concealer, like how that goes on, but what it does is it's going to really cling onto the concealer, and it also helps to prevent under eye creasing. So if no matter what you've tried, you're still creasing on your under eyes, it's worth a shot, especially since it's on sale in the kudos. So you're just going to apply it just like that, just right underneath, and then I just took my concealer in the shade Organza and just popped it right over on top. So you can also do that on your laugh lines. You can do it on anywhere that you find that really, really creases a lot. It's worth a shot. I know some customers that like swear by doing it, so give it a shot. Let me know if it worked for you. Yes, the blending buds are always damp, so you're going to wring them underneath the water and then squeeze them out till no water falls from them. That's when you know they're ready to use. Okay, so now we're going to set our makeup. So right now I have on my Skin Perfecting Concealer and my Liquid Touch Foundation. So these two things are on my skin right now, and then I also put on a little bit of my eye primer underneath my concealer just to kind of reap the benefits of my under eye not creasing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set everything. So I'm going to use a dry blending bud, and then I'm going to take my setting spray and just spritz it, just like so. And I'm going to use my Touch Behold translucent setting powder. So I popped the cap off mine so I could like bake with it. But what baking is essentially just taking a lot of translucent setting powder. Key thing first though is always make sure that you are preventing any of these little creases from happening before you go on with this step, because this is like the seal. We're sealing the deal. So nothing is moving. Anything that wants to move is going to just be absorbed into the setting powder. Yeah, under eye. Give it a shot. Let me know how it works for you guys. Eye primer under your eyes is a game changer. See, I knew a lot of people really love it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to try it. But I have been pleasantly surprised. At first I was like, really? It's going to do something? But just like with all makeup, you never know until you try it. Okay, so we put this all over. We're going to look like a crazy person for a little bit. But what this does is it's, like I said, going to just absorb any natural oils or the environment, or if you live somewhere where it's really humid, it's just going to be absorbed into this. So instead of your skin looking really greasy or oily or heavy, it's just going to be absorbed. I have what I call sunken under eyes and trying to give a full look. What do you suggest? So Rebecca, I kind of do also. So you're actually going to really love this next step that I'm going to show you. In the old days, we used to put concealer under foundation instead of on top. So the way, okay, so this is how I kind of explain the routine that I do. So when you're painting a wall, the first thing that you do is prime the wall, right? So it clings onto the paint so it looks more flawless, and so the paint doesn't seep into all the fine lines and wrinkles and cracks of this wall. So you're going to do primer, then you do foundation, which is like the paint. And then if you needed touch up or you needed more paint in certain areas, instead of layering on the paint and it's going to look heavier and uneven in some areas, you're going to go in with your concealer, your like touch up, and you'll just use it where you need it. So concealer always is, and typically is always a little bit heavier of consistency. So instead of packing on heavy concealer all over, use it just where you need it. So that's kind of the mindset of how I put it on in what order. The spray foundation is literally the best thing in this world for fine lines and wrinkles and mature skin because of how lightweight it is on the skin. It's incredible. So it was supposed to be back in stock today. It's not. They say it's going to be back in stock on the 4th, but it's going to take about 5 days to fully be in stock. So be patient. I'm trying to practice my patience because I really want mine too. I'm almost out, so I haven't been using it because I don't want to run out of it. All right, so someone asked about sunken in under eye. So this tip right here is really game changer. So this is the Mineral Touch pressed powder, and we're going to use it in the shade Scarlet, which is the lightest shade. We're going to pick it up on a dry blending bed, and we're going to tap this on our under eye, just underneath like this. And what this does is it's going to make our under eye look raised up, a lot brighter, more youthful, more tighter, and it's also going to help to prevent our under eye from creasing as well. So see how much more brighter and like more lifted this under eye area looks? So that's just a little bit of pressed powder, and this pressed powder is seriously so soft. It's not cakey at all. It's not heavy. It's not drying. It's incredible. Is the spray foundation going to come back? Yes, the spray foundation will be back in stock starting on the 4th. Which I believe is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's the 4th? So it's going to start coming back in stock tomorrow, but it will take a little bit of time for it to be fully back in stock. But I do know that the quantity, or the quantity that they're getting isn't like very large. I think it's like 6,000 or 60,000 units, which may sound like a lot, but it's not. So it's going to sell out really, really quickly. So make sure that you are by your phone, you set your reminders, so you can get your hands on it because it's seriously so good. Which of the eyeshadow palettes do you prefer? Oh my gosh, that's the hardest question ever. So I really like Addiction Palette 1 and Addiction Palette 6. If I had to choose, those two would be my favorites just because they're really good for all eye colors. Brown, green, blue, and they're really good for all events. Like you can do a smoky eye with both of them, or you could do something more everyday and very fast with both of them. So I would definitely say Addiction Palette 1 and 6. I'm actually going to use Addiction Palette 1 today, and I will be using every Addiction palette throughout the month. So make sure that you are tuning in when you see me live. And again, you can turn on live notifications up here, the 3 little dots. You can turn on live notifications so that way you don't miss out on any of the tutorials. Yes, so it says the 6th, but it's gonna start being restocked tomorrow. I had the stick and I didn't like it, so I ordered the BB cream, and so far that's my favorite. Awesome. Yes, so if you don't really like heavy coverage, which it sounds like you don't, because I know the stick foundation is like thicker coverage, I think you'll really like the spray because it's very lightweight on the skin, but it gives you that full coverage look. So I'm searching for the perfect foundation. Lynn, shoot me a message. I would be thrilled to help you. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just taking the pressed powder in the shade Taffeta, and I'm just applying this all over, and you can really see how much it really bumps up the coverage, gives us that full coverage look without looking heavy or cakey, and it's also going to help to prolong the wear of our makeup throughout the day because it's also going to help to absorb any elements that are trying to make our makeup come off or look greasy or oily or any of that. Already said, but how do you color match? So super duper easy, Susan. All I need is a selfie facing a window. So right now I'm facing a window. Here, I'll flip you guys around so you can kind of. So there's my windows. There's also a ring light, but there's my window. So I'm just sitting in front of these windows. So the light is reflecting onto my skin. I'm also sitting northwest, which kind of helps as well. So the sun goes up and over you instead of like in front of you or behind you. So that is like the best lighting for pictures, for selfies, for lives, for everything. Be facing that direction. I mean, I can color match you facing any direction. I want you to be like, I don't know how to face northwest. But just be facing a window is the best way to get color matched. I can get super duper accurate because this is like the most real your skin tone will look. So make sure that you send me a selfie facing a window and then tell me what your skin is like. Is it dry? Is it oily? Is it mature? Do you have a lot of fine lines, etc.? And then I can give you a recommendation on what color to get. Okay, so now we're going to contour a little bit. So I'm going to use my beachfront bronzer in the shade Hermosa. And I'm just going to pop this on the hollows of my cheek on both sides. And this is just going to simply start to warm up my complexion and really just kind of define my face. So just in this area, and then I always kind of go from the top of the ear working to the corner of the mouth, and then I always do little swirls over it, and that's really just going to soften that line up so it doesn't look really heavy or look really muddy or anything like that. What is your perfect setup for using a mirror and a phone tripod? The tripod's always in my way. So I have a really small tripod. I got on like Amazon. And then the mirror I'm using is by a company called Fancy. Looks like this. It's my favorite. So a mirror like this has all the storage down here. It has a white LED light, so it's like really accurate as to daylight. And then it swivels, it turns. I have this little clip right here on it, so it like stays tilted at exactly how I want it to. And it's a really, really good height. It's actually like the same height as my tripod, so I feel like that's why I'm not like looking down or looking like away from you. I try to put my mirror as close to you guys as possible, so I'm not like looking away from you. Linda, you're just looking at the wrong pressed powders. We offer two types of pressed powders. There's a unique pressed powder, and then there's a touch mineral pressed powder. So I prefer the touch mineral one because it's going to be lighter and more neutral undertoned rather than the unique one. In my personal opinion, I know a lot of people that really like it, but I personally don't really like that one. It's a little bit thicker of coverage or thicker of consistency, which feels heavy on my skin. And then it's also a little bit more yellow undertoned, which makes me feel and look really orange. So it's all personal preference, of course. So if you've tried the mineral one and you're not a fan, try the unique one. But you're just in the wrong pressed powder. Prius Peyote. And if you're not sure, if you're like, I don't know about this website, just message me and I can give you the direct link. The clip is like a clip from like a chip bag thing. If I have a color match, can you pick what would be the same shade? So I need to pick a foundation I use. Yeah, Rebecca, go ahead. That would work too. Every single less white. Is there a mask that will tighten my facial skin? So the brightening face mask is really, really amazing for giving you toned and tightened skin. It's actually a toner. And then also the rose water is really, really good for tightening as well. Thanks, Sarah. What brush do you apply bronzer with? This is the tapered blusher brush. I swear by this guy if you have yet to grab it. It really does all the work for you. Gives you a really defined soft contour rather than just like a line or making it too big to where it feels like you have a beard. You know what I mean? Thanks for meeting you. Oh, you're so sweet, Shirley. Thank you. The liquid foundation, does it turn to powder? No, it doesn't turn to powder, but it has a powder finish, if that makes sense. It basically means to me that it's not going to be really oily or really wet on your skin. Long story short. But it doesn't turn to powder, no. Okay, so now for blush, I'm going to use a very subtle one. This is the shade Seductive, and I'm going to use it on my blusher brush. I always tap in, swirl in the cap, and smile. And I'm going to tap this on. This is by far the best blush if you're not like a really big blush girl, or you just want something that's simply going to give you a flush color to your skin so you don't look washed out. Super, super subtle. It's a matte blush. Again, it's the shade Seductive. It looks good on all skin tones, skin types, but this is honestly, if you're looking for just a very subtle matte blush, this would be the one to get. So again, it's the shade Seductive. And it's just a very dusty rose color. Then we're just tapping that on, and then see how it just gives you this really pretty subtle flush color, which is exactly what we want. All right, so now for highlight. I always love a good highlight, especially when I'm going live later to do my hair. which we're going to be doing that at 11. So if you haven't seen a hair tutorial yet, make sure you stick around. So I'm going to use my Touch Limo Luminizer in the shade Lustrous, and I'm just going to pop this on, the highest parts of my cheekbones right here. And this is going to just simply give me this really glowy, kind of dewy, radiant finish. So if you have oily skin but you still love that dewy finish, which I do, but I can't use like dewy products or else it makes my skin really oily, this is a really like good way to like fake it. So that was the cream, which is a really good option if you have mature skin. We also have the powder, which is honestly the simplest way, just because it's super easy. Just take a fluffy brush, and then I'm just gonna dust this on the bridge and tip of my nose, and then I'm going to use a little bit firmer of a hand and just kind of blend out that cream and see how it really just kind of accentuates. Look at that. You see this gorgeous, dewy, bronzy glow. I love it. It's so gorgeous. Do you like lustrous better than pearly? It's my personal favorite because it's kind of like a happy medium of all of them. It gives you a really pretty glowy, kind of bronzy look without being too like rose gold or anything like that. So lustrous is my personal favorite, but you really can't go wrong with any of them. They're all really pretty. Okay, so now we're time for our brows, and then I'm going to show you this eye look. And then I'm also going to show you how to use the eye primer. So I'm going to comb through my brows, and then I always use the Lash brow comb to comb through my eyelashes as well. If you are having any trouble with mascara application and you feel like no matter what you do or what you use, your mascara always looks clumpy or heavy on your eyelashes, definitely make sure that you are combing through your lashes. They're hair too, just like your head. And when you're not combing through them, they're going to be like tangled and overlap. So then when you go in with your mascara, it just makes them look clumpy or heavy. So make sure you're combing through your eyelashes. And this is by Unique. So it's a Lash brow comb is what it's called. Do you like Lash? Oh, I already won. Are you in your new closet? Yes, I am. So if you guys haven't yet already messaged me, make sure that you do so. Here on Facebook, send me a selfie facing a window. I would be so happy to help you guys pick out your products. And then at least so you know your shades too if you're wanting to grab the spray foundation. So the spray, the stick, and the liquid are all going to be in the same family. So whatever color you are in the spray foundation, you're the same color in the stick. Whatever you are in the stick or the liquid, you're going to be in the spray. It's all the same fam bam. And then if, like I said, if you missed it, the spray foundation is going to be starting to be restocked tomorrow, but it's going to take a few days to be fully in stock. So make sure that you start checking my website, RheaHopeBeauty.com, starting tomorrow, and you don't stop checking it until you get your spray. And if you already know your summer shade or you already know your winter shade, make sure you grab your summer shade too, because like I mentioned before, they're only getting 60,000 units, which is not a lot. In stock, so it's gonna sell out very quickly. So make sure that you grab your summer and your winter shade together so they don't sell out on you. I always have problems with my lashes on my right eye. Oh my gosh, Kelly, I'm the same way. I always have one eye that's always like the slacker. I always say I have one eyebrow and eyelash that's like Nordstrom, and then I have one that's like Walmart. Just one of them just doesn't want to cooperate. I don't like using false eyelashes, but I like to have pretty long lashes. Do you recommend mascara? Lynn, my goodness, girlfriend, you stick around. You're going to be like amazed at what I can do with my lashes. I'm the same exact way. I really love long lashes, and I suck, honestly, to be totally honest. I suck at putting false eyelashes on myself. I could put them on other people, like no problem, but on myself, I cannot. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've tried for years. I cannot get them. Even the magnetic ones, can't do it. So I've had to become professional at making my lashes really long. So I use the Lash Primer, the Lash Esteem Serum, so it makes your lashes grow, and then the 40 Mascara with the Epic. So I use a few products on them, but honestly, it's totally 1001% worth it. Because when it's fast, it's easy, it's good for sensitive eyes, and it gets your lashes reaching for the stars. I'm going to show you here in a minute. As soon as I'm done with my brows, I'm using the brow pencil in the shade medium. Sorry, I've been like totally just chatting away and not even talking about what I'm doing. But this brow product is hands down my favorite just because it's super, super fast. It's really, really simple and easy to use. You get really precise hair-like strokes. And it's only $19. Okay. So I'm doing makeup. I have no idea. My summer shade. Sarah, message me and I can help you. I didn't know I have a winter color and a summer color. You do, because most people, I mean, not everyone has a summer and a winter color because not everyone spends time outside. But if you do spend a time outside, because I know like for us, for example, during the summertime, I live in San Diego, so Mexico is not far for us. It's like a 45-minute plane ride or 20-minute drive. So we actually spend a lot of time in Mexico, so I get really tan during the summer. So I have some darker colors from when I do get tan. Taffeta is my winner. So your shade for summer, Terry, would be the shade Satin. I'm blessed with eyelashes. Awesome. Put my eyes so I don't be able to blink. That's awesome. Good problem to have. All right, so now it's time for our eyeshadow. So first things first, we're going to use our eye primer. And like I said, this comes in the upgraded Kudos. And you're just going to use, I use like that much. And we also use this on our under eyes. So now what we're going to do, and this is a really, really good little trickaroo if you have darker eyelids like I do, or if you have really oily eyelids, or no matter what you use, what you do, your eyeshadow is always like creasing or coming off altogether. This is a really good trick for you. So this is like, it's like glue. I mean, it doesn't like hurt or anything or dry. I mean, it dries, but you can't feel it drying. But it will hold on to whatever you got going on. It also makes your eyeshadow a little bit more pigmented too, which is a nice payoff. So again, that was a lash primer. Not lash primer, I lied. It's the eye primer. Summer shade for organza. You could be a few things, but most likely you'll be the shade Lace, Stephanie. So the summer is usually one shade darker. Typically one shade. It really depends on the person. And you can always send me like a selfie or a picture of you in the summertime, and I can give you a recommendation that way too. Just as long as there's no filter on it, I can nail you down. Okay. So now we are going to do our eyeshadow, and like I said, in the Kudos this month, it's any Addiction palette, which we have 7. So what they look like is, if I can get into this drawer, is this guy right here. So this is the Addiction palette 7. This is the brand new one that just launched. It's the craziest one, but it is fun. So this is the Addiction palette 7. So each one comes like this. They come with your already loaded up palette, comes with a little mirror, and it's magnetized so it stays closed. So that's Addiction palette 7. There's also the Addiction palette 6, which this is one of my favorites because it looks good on everybody. Has your mauves, your browns, your champagnes, your mattes, your shimmers. Pretty good spectrum. And then if you are like me and you have all of them, but you don't have all the room to store them, what I did is I grabbed the refillable palette by Unique, and then I popped all of mine out with a butter knife. It was really messy, warning you, but I was able to fit palettes 1 through 4 into this. Actually 1 through 5. So Addiction palettes 1 through 5, so this is how they go. So this is Addiction palette 1, from this light color to this darker brown, which is what we're going to be using today. And then Addiction palette 2 is all these grays and the blacks. This is a really good smoky eye one. Addiction palette 3 is this guy right here, the purples, the pinks, the blacks, the silvers. And then Addiction palette 4 is these 3 right here, which are the browns. And then you have like the bronze and the blues. So this one's a really great palette if you have green eyes. And then you have Addiction palette 5, which is actually all metallics, and it's really, really stunning. It's like our peacock one. It's really pretty. So you have Addiction palette 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So like I said, this is just the refillable palette from Unique. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is actually a fun fact. This is the first eye look I ever learned to do. Ever. I was not a huge makeup girl. I learned as I went, and Unique made it honestly possible for me to learn. So Addiction palette 1 was my first baby. So it's this guy right here. So we're going to start with this color right here, which is Chipper. It's this like matte brown one. And we're going to take the fluffy crease brush. We're going to tap it in, Chipper, swirl it into the cap, or the mirror, to really get that pigment separated on the brush. Tap it off. You could blow it. And then we're just going to start to blend this into the crease. So like I said, this was the first eye look I ever learned to do, and I honestly just stuck with it for so long because it was honestly like my safety zone. It was very simple and easy to do, and it looked really, really pretty on. And this palette, like I said before, it's the perfect palette if you are learning to do eyeshadow, or you don't wear a lot of eyeshadow, or you just want something that's like good for all occasions, for every day or a night out. So Chipper is going into the crease, and I just simply massage it back and forth to blend that out. And then always you want to think rainbow, rainbow, zigzag through the eye to really blend it out well. Yes, exactly, Janice. All right, so now that we have chipper on that eye, we're going to move the same thing over here. Just like so. And honestly, this brush makes the world of difference. I'm not sure if it's in stock at the moment, but I would get it as soon as it's back in stock. It honestly makes doing your eyeshadow so incredibly simple. It does all the work for you. So just going back and forth, rainbow, and zigzagging through the eye blends it out for you. And then you could build this up until you're comfortable with it. So I'm just going to add a little bit more on each side, mostly on the brow bone and the outer corner. And then same thing over here. I'll be 62 this month and I have every foundation but BB and they will all work great on my skin. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Love it, love it. All right, so now that we have chipper all the way on, now I'm going to go in with this color, which is Forthright, which is this darker chocolatey brown, which is right here, this guy. So we're going to go with that guy. Tap it in. I'm just going to go with the same brush. Tap it off. You can even blow it. And then I'm just going to focus this one. I'm using an even lighter hand because it is a darker chocolatey brown. And then I'm going to focus this one in the outside corner, not so much the crease. So sticking like outward, onward, just like that. And I'm just kind of like dusting it on. Same thing. Grab a teeny tiny bit more. And then same thing over here. And now a good tip with eyeshadow is how you hold the brush. If you're holding it up here, it's going to look real dark and you're going to have to spend a lot of time blending it out. Hold your brush towards the back. It's going to ensure that you are using it with a lighter hand, so you're not kind of forcing that color on there. You're just simply kind of chopstick, like dusting it on. Think of a chopstick, how you hold it. You hold it kind of awkwardly but very lightly, so you don't like squish your food. Same idea. And then you're just going to dust that in this outside corner and then kind of bring inward like that. All right, so now that we have that color on, and again, I just always kind of double check before I move on, maybe add a teeny tiny bit more. Okay. So once we have that on, now I'm going to use the Deluxe brush, and I'm going to do one thing first. I'm going to use my setting spray, and I'm going to spray my brush with this. It's going to really cling on to the powder, and it's going to, the eyeshadow, and it's going to make it a little more pigmented as well. So we're going to use this color right here, which is the shade Brassy. It's this kind of metallic-y gold color. It's really gorgeous. And we're going to use it on the Deluxe brush, and we're just going to pop this on the lid. This is going to be the star of the show. Doing makeup while watching. Awesome. Do you do gel polish on your nails? Yes, I do acrylic, and then I do gel polish on top. This is the Deluxe brush, which is my favorite brush for the lid because it clings onto the powder really well, the eyeshadow powders, and it limits the fallout, meaning you're not going to get a bunch of eyeshadow underneath your eye. What is the eyeshadow brush called? So I've been using, this is the Deluxe brush, and then the one that I used right before that was the Fluffy Crease brush. The Fluffy Crease brush. All of the brushes, honestly, though, make a really large difference on how, like, what the outcome is of your eye. It really does. They're the perfect amount of taper, they're perfect amount of fluff. It really makes a large difference. And I didn't really know that until I had them and was really comparing the two. I'm going to wipe off whatever was on there and go back in with chipper, which was that matte brown that we started off with. And I'm just going to kind of very light-handedly dust this right on top, just so we save that warmth of our eye and the depth. Just kind of like that. Where did you get all the shadows like that? So these are all the Addiction palettes by Unique, and the palette that they're in is called the Refillable palette. You can actually buy it by itself on my website on rayahopebeauty.com. And then I just popped all of mine out with a butter knife out of the palettes because they normally come like this. So I just opened it and then I took a butter knife and I got it kind of squished in there and popped them out. It's just like very light glue that holds them in there. It can be a little bit messy though, so warning. The shade that I'm putting on right now, this lid color, is the shade Brassy. Thanks, Gail. Addiction palette 1, yes. Yes, so I'm using Addiction palette 1. Precisely. I have eye color that changes, and I have hazel. Ooh, pretty. So Rebecca, you could get away with a lot of the different palettes, but Addiction palette 1 or 6 would be really gorgeous on you. All right, so this is the blending brush. There's nothing on this guy. I just simply kind of use it to blend out, just like that, back and forth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my eyeliner. That's my lip liner. My eyeliner in the shade Perfect, which also comes in the Kudos. And then I'm going to use this on my waterlines. This is just going to give it more of a smoked out look. And then I'm going to smoke it out underneath to really kind of give it that finished look. So eyeliner on, and you guys, if you haven't grabbed these eyeliners yet, 100% have to. They're $15, which is really good, but they stay in place, which is the best part. All right, so I'm going to go in with this guy right here, which is the liner shader brush, and I'm going to grab the shade Forthright, which was the darker color that we used, and I'm just going to drag this underneath the lower lash line, which is just going to give us like that really finished kind of smoked out look. It's also a really good little trick if you're not a huge fan of wearing mascara on the bottom lash line like me. I don't really like the feeling of it, and I don't really like how heavy it makes my eyes look, so I really love doing this to kind of complete it, and it gives the kind of illusion that I have mascara on underneath. So I'm just going to drag this on both sides. Yay! Hi guys! If you haven't done so, make sure that you turn on the live notifications, which is in the top right hand corner. You'll see 3 little dots. So you'll turn on live notifications, and that way Facebook will just alert you every time I go live. It'll just give you a little notification here on Facebook. So super easy. So just like that, and you have this really gorgeous smoked out look. And then you can kind of tweak it too, just like that. And then you can just do you, boo. Just kind of go back and forth until you really like the outcome of it. But honestly, I think we're styling. Styling. All right, so now that we have our eyeshadow done, what I do now is I do 2 things. So I use an empty brush. I'll just sweep away any eyeshadow that may have fallen, and then I take my blending bud, and I just kind of very briskly bounce this off my under eye, and it's just going to kind of pick up any eyeshadow that may have fallen. Also kind of smooths it out a little bit. So now we're going to set our makeup. So I'm going to use my setting spray. And the reason that I set my makeup before I'm actually done with it is because I don't like when you do your mascara and then you set your makeup and it just makes your mascara more wet. Not a fan of that. So we're going to do it kind of opposite. So that way, not only are we like prepping and priming our lips and our lashes for the product, but we're preventing it from getting any more wet. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now let's do our mascara. So someone asked, what can I use instead of using false eyelashes to get that look? So here is step 1, is the lash primer. This guy, like it's a crime not to prime your face. Same thing goes for your lashes. It really makes a huge difference on how long and full your lashes look. This primer is also extremely hydrating for your lashes, so it also is going to hydrate them, which in turn helps them to grow and helps them to curl. So it's a really, really great product for your lashes. And you're just going to apply it just like that on the base. And then I go in immediately in with my 4D mascara. Now with the Kudos, you get any eyeshadow palette, you get any eyeliner, you can upgrade and get the primer, the eye primer, and then you get any mascara. So you can pick the 4D or you can pick the regular. So if you have yet to grab the 4D, oh my gosh, you guys need to. It's so good. You get the most insane length and volume with this. You also are getting the fibers and the gel because it's infused in this. So you get the crazy good length and volume without the fiber fallout. It's so, so good. Look at that. Isn't that great? Yeah, it's so good. So the Kudos I just explained was any eyeshadow palette, any mascara, any eyeliner. So it's a whole eye look, which is cool. So if you are trying to get like the biggest bang for your buck. If you're new here and you're like, okay, I want to get some products, but I don't want to like break the bank, obviously, but I want to get a full makeup look, because the products really kind of go hand in hand. So what I would do is I would grab the Kudos, which is that full eye look, and then I would grab the collection called the Ready Set Prep. It's going to be under collections and sets. It's an already discounted collection. You're going to get your foundation, your concealer, your primer, your setting spray or setting powder, and you get your blush and a free bag and free shipping. All of that is in that collection, Ready Set Prep. And you can do any foundation, whether you want the BB Flawless, you want the liquid, you want the pressed powder. So endless. I know, right? Aren't these crazy long lashes? It's insane. Yes, the primer helps the curl, exactly. Okay, so now what I like to do is I like to use my waterproof Epic mascara. So this is also that choice in the Kudos. And I like to do one coat of this on top. Not only do I love the two together, I feel like it really kind of makes my lashes that much longer, but now my lashes are waterproof. So it's a cool little topper. All right, and now our lashes are done. That's so good. Oh, I love it. Does the primer or the spray is not included in that set just because it's a different price point and it's not in stock at the moment. No, I do not have a lash lift. These are all me, baby. Thanks. So I'm wearing the Addiction Palette 1 today. Okay, so now let's do our lips. I decided I want to do a fun lip look since we're kind of doing a bronzier look. So I'm gonna show you a really pretty kind of pinky springtime lip look. So this is the lip liner in the shade Punchy. Wouldn't take my order for collection. Yvette, message me and I can help you if you're having any trouble with the website. Occasionally everyone has asked me how I've done such easy so much here to listen. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. Okay, so now we're going to use the lip liner in the shade Punchy, and this is such a good lip look if you love a really matte, like all-day hold pink lip. So this is only $15. It's matte, smudge-proof, so we're going to line our lips with this. Just like so. And then I always like to overdraw a little bit. And see how it just glides on? Oh, it's so good. Okay, so once we've lined, now we're going to fill in. And I just kind of sweep back and forth. Just like so. And same thing on top. And look at this color. Isn't this so pretty? It's like Barbie pink. But these are really good product if you are not into lipstick, but you kind of want to use a product that you can kind of like play around with a little bit. Get confident with the lipsticks, with the colors. All right, so then you can kind of just enhance that. Isn't that really pretty? It's very soft, very subtle, but you still get this really pretty pink lip look. So that was Punchy in the lip liner, but I am going to top it with the lipstick in the shade Conceited. And we're going to take that and go right over top. Not the whole thing, just a little bit, because I still want it to remain really soft. Now I'm going to take my finger and just blend that out. Just like that. Now you have this really soft, pink, perfect springtime lip look. Does the lip liner help make your lips look fuller? So it does, because you can, one, overdraw, and two, it kind of makes your lips look a little fuller. Yeah. I have brown eyes, and palette 1 is my favorite. Yes. Palette 1 is so good. Yeah, so if you guys need any help picking out what eyeshadow palette to get for your eye color or your skill level or whatever, just message me. And let me know what eye color you have, and I can give you a recommendation. And then if you have yet to grab that collection, definitely do so today. So it's called Ready Set Prep. It's going to be under sets and collections, and then check out the Kudos for this month to get a full makeup look at a heck of a discount. So yeah, message me if you guys have any questions, if you need any help. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a hair tutorial with Lange, which they always do a really fun giveaway. while I'm live at 11 o'clock, which is like really, really soon. So I will see you back here. Make sure you turn on the live notifications, the 3 little dots up there. Click that share button in your bottom left-hand corner, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and make sure, if you don't already, that you go follow me over on Instagram. Search Rhea Hope there. So I'll give you guys outfit details over there. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.